without further to cover, there is a presentation to be done, right? Which we will do it in between. Uh, did you guys do 305?
Yes, yes. You given the questionnaires, no? Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah. I
We
think
will
it's
take
a.
that up in midway rather than right away. Okay. Let's just start with day 5 BRSR, a very critical topic and very important to understand it well because Indian regulations has been created based on all 8 other regulations. So it's a kind of quite a detailed one and it is question based. So very interesting to answer those questions. And if you do it right, then definitely it helps. So crafting BRSR report is what we are going to learn in next 2 days. First part is which is happening right away. We'll have 4 modules. The first module, we will look into the introduction of BRSR, understanding that what kind of mandate it is, what is the background to it, what are the advantages, how it has came into a shape, etc. Because there are a lot of things which has gone wrong, which government has corrected and created this particular mandate. Yeah, SEBI specifically is our Stock Exchange Board of India, which is governing body who is behind this reporting structure. So let's just start. To just give you a perspective, please understand, just like Big Bang, okay? BRSR reporting is a catalyst for transformation. Yeah. Big Bang was just a small phenomena where they cracked the atom and suddenly whole universe got created. Similarly, it is a way to understand your organization impact on planet and society and to chart a course towards more sustainable future. So let's embark on that cosmic journey together, discovering the power of BRSR reporting today. Okay, our housekeeping remains same. You can raise question anywhere in between, no problem. Slido.com, do log in there, and then we will give you a number to so that you can relearn your concept, which we'll go through today. On-demand video replays will be provided, and technical issues will be handled at the end. Let's just start with module 1, the introduction to BRSR, which is the core of all discussion today. To understand BRSR, the SEBI mandate, which is Stock Exchange Board of India mandate, which is a governing body, it's an independent regulatory authority, which is behind putting up ESG reporting structure. So this Indian regulator, SEBI, role in defining ESG reporting has been critical. And this is a SEBI-driven journey towards sustainable business. Okay, so we are not talking about only sustainable future, but if you want to create a business which is sustainable, you need to follow this particular mandate. So Indian business landscape is undergoing massively in transformative shift. Any country which is in this phase, be third world or second world countries, which are developing countries, their businesses also are changing. And there the critical role is played by their regulators. For example, in our case, it is Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI. Sorry. Sorry. Which has mandated BRSR full form is business responsibility and sustainability reporting, which is in short BRSR, people say. SEBI has been instrumental in refining ESG reporting standard for last 15 years. Okay, they were behind it, and finally they have certain reporting structure which is more plausible and as can be compared with CSRD of Europe as well as SEC of USA. Yeah, because they have created a comprehensive, transparent disclosures, framework about environment, social, and governance performances of any company. So BRSR is no longer just a compliance exercise. It is a strategic imperative now for modern businesses. And by embracing this regulation, BRSR regulation, company can enhance their reputation on international platform and attract responsible investors, not any Tom, Dick, and Harry on their boards. and contribute to a sustainable future as well. Now, SEBI role in shaping BRSR is pivotal. There is no doubt about it. What they have done is they have tried to elevate Indian corporate sustainability landscape itself by aligning their regulation, which is BRSR, to global best practices and fostering a culture of responsible business. So it involves disclosures of ESG performance. It reflects growing corporate responsibility in India specifically and a strategic imperative for modern businesses. If you see that, okay, so if you see the timeline of BRSR is quite interesting. So whole thing is started in 2019 when government, specifically Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA, launch a report called National Voluntary Guidelines, NVG in short. Yeah. So BRSR framework actually evolved significantly since then. 2009, Ministry of Corporate Affairs issued this National Voluntary Guidelines, NVGs, on corporate social responsibility. The focus was there, only social responsibility of the corporate. 2012, after 3 years down the line, SEBI mandated the top 100 listed companies by market cap to file business responsibility reporting, which is at that point in time was called as BRR. Okay, business responsibility reporting. And these were based on those 9 principles or NVG, the National Voluntary Guidelines for the corporate social responsibility, which was created. Coming 2015, BRR was made mandatory for top 500 listed company. 2017, this was increased to SEBI advised that voluntary integrated reporting for top 500 company. Yeah, and in 2019, MCA released the National Guideline for Responsible Business Conduct, NGRBC, okay, which extended BRR to top 1,000 company. Yeah, with the NGRBC report, it was now forced to get adopted for 1,000 company. And coming 2021, BRSR in current format, what we see today, was introduced and mandated for top 1,000 market cap based companies in both the exchanges, okay, to report business responsibility and sustainability reporting, which is now named as business responsibility BR and sustainability reporting SR, and both of them together on the annual reports. In 2023 and 2024, BRSR 2 was introduced in form of BRSR Core, yeah, with the disclosures and assurance requirement for the top 150 market cap wise companies. 2024-2025, BRSR 2 will apply to now top 250 company, including assurance of KPIs. Just give me 1 minute, Colonel, and I will give you a chance to ask your question. 25-26, top 500 company must submit BRSR with a third-party reasonable assurance. So here, third-party assurance come into play. So next year onwards, the third-party assurance is mandatory. Okay, for top 500 company, and 250 company out of those has to assure their value chain as well. You got the point, yeah? So value chain verification of their data also need to be done. BRSR Core will definitely apply in 2026, 2027 to all 1,000 company. So requiring a third-party reasonable assurance throughout. Yeah, and you can right now select Core or BRSR main based on how comfortable you are on reporting all the points. Now, let me ask Colonel, please go ahead and ask your question.
How do you define this market cap for 1,000 companies?
So for market cap, they have done a very simple calculation. Market cap is your price. Your price means your script. Path, I will give you a call back. The price or the script which is running in the market, you might have seen for Reliance, it is 3,000, or for SBI, it is now it is 400 and beyond. Suzlon, it is 90 rupees, right? That's the price, sticker price, multiplied by how much of the shares they have in the market, the share float. If you multiply these two numbers, you will get a number which is your market capitalization. Okay, so all shares which company holds not authorized share, the shares which are trading in the market. Okay.
Okay. Now the share of the trading. At what point of the time you consider the trade of the sharing? At what time? What point of the?
Can you be a little louder because
At what point you will consider trading of the share for
so
considering
basically,
the?
means what point means every day the price changes, right?
So when do you
But they
decide?
are
Okay.
considering, BRSR prescribes that on date 31st of the current year, so the
Okay.
1st March of that year,
Uh,
on that day, whoever so is having, on that threshold of top 1,000 company, they should report.
yes, that's what I.
But
Okay.
magically, you will go and check on NSE or BSE website. There are more than 1,025, company now who have started reporting on the exchanges about their sustainability report. Because you never know when you look, when the third party assurance will come, then it will become challenging. Because on that day, you have to be top 1,000 company, right? So it will be challenging because you have to engage people before that to do the third party assurance, do all this exercise, etc. That's why today, whoever is thinking that they can cross that threshold, they have also started reporting. So there are 30 to 60 odd companies which are additionally reporting. Clear?
Clear.
Then this is the background of in that regulation. Let's now understand advantage of the such kind of regulation, be it BRSR, be it CSRD, be it CS-DDD now, European standards. The advantages are five. The first is access to capital. Yeah, like we are talking about market cap. So whoever invests in your company, if they are conscious about their investment, that this investment I am doing for my next generation, or they are large investment banks who does only green investing, that door opens for you if you are following BRSR. Make sense? Second is cost optimization. To attain a cost saving by identifying and optimizing resource efficiency throughout this process. If you adopt BRSR process, you get that benefit. That cost get optimized across the value chain. Then comes the brand equity. The moment you start producing sustainability report in accordance to BRSR, you get a new kind of brand where the credibility of that brand is put little higher than anybody else. Then comes comparability. So streamlining, benchmarking, evaluating ESG performance becomes easier if somebody is reporting on BRSR. Finally, it also helps in risk mitigation and reduction in regulatory compliance and ESG risk. Yeah. So a standardized reporting format for comparability is key here. It encourages company to adopt sustainability practices is also very important, and the enhancement of transparency and accountability, which attracts ESG focused investor, is basically all the advantages of BRSR. Now, before we go there, you need to also understand how such kind of frameworks are made so well developed, or so much so that it becomes robust, happens by finding out lacuna in their previous iteration. For example, specifically in case of BRSR, as you know, 2012 BRR was launched, right? And 2015 it became mandatory to 250 companies, then 500 companies. People were reporting for last 10 years on those reports, but suddenly in 2019, Government of India realized that a lot of people are reporting just a bogus report, which doesn't make sense. And they identified following four major lacuna in their reports. The first was completeness of information was missing. From a lot of people who were reporting by mandate or without mandate, they were giving information which was not principle based. Make sense? That was the problem number one. Second problem, MCA in their reporting, NVGCA reports, which we just got, National Voluntary Guidelines, reporting which they have done. On that, they realized that accuracy of information was also doubtful. Whether the information provided was relevant to the principle was a questionable item. So 9 principles which they have stated in NVC guidelines was definitely questionable. Apart from that, the information which they put in terms of accuracy of that information was also doubtful. Yeah, so somebody was reporting in kilojoules, somebody was reporting in the other parameter of NPA, right? Kilo power watt. So that different measures everybody was using, and it was very difficult to comprehend. So now they have made it mandatory that everybody will report in joules. Yeah, kilojoules in terms of energy. And when you are talking about carbon equivalent, it has to be in ton of carbon equivalent, CO2 equivalent. That's what you are reporting. So that was another problem. Third problem was principle-based reporting. So that fostered a sense of mindfulness towards business responsibility and sustainability among company, but in reality, it was not happening. And finally, the clarity of information itself was challenged. Means there are certain paragraphs which you will read and could not make it out what exactly company was trying to tell you. Okay. Seeing all these four problems, examining across these four parameters, they have said they need to bring a new regulation, and that came in 2021 in form of BRSR, which is Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting Framework 2021. Now, this framework basically relies on four major pillars, starting with it is completely dependent on SASB. So if you see 50 to 60% of questions you will find coming from the SASB. Similarly, NGRBC, the report finding which we have, and the ninth principle which was defined in BRR under National Voluntary Guidelines, you will find a reference to that. Still today, it's ninth principle only. They have not changed those principles. Then comes the integrated reporting, IR reporting. So financial and non-financial coming together also was referred. So these are 8 other frameworks, international framework, which BRSR refers to, which is UNGP as well, CDP, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, 17th principle also is referred, TCFD, 4 principles are referred, PRI, 9 principles are referred. So all those 8 different international frameworks has been used, and you will find traces of those in BRSR. Make sense? What are those guidelines? So see, these are the 5 critical guidelines which SEBI under BRSR mentions. The first, their focus is that they want to enhance the business impact. Okay. How they want to do it? Through mandatory disclosure requirements, they have pushed companies and encouraged companies to redefine their corporate purpose with heightened focus on environment, social, and governance dimension. Make sense? Second, it has an alignment with GRI, SASB, TCFD as well, and cross-referencing between annual and sustainability report is provided. So same like in GRI, right? You have a space to give a reference that go to this report and find it there, or go to my website and find this policy. That is also allowed in BRSR. Third, it emphasizes on employee training, awareness in health, safety, anti-corruption, and upskilling. So focus remains here as well on employee. Fourth, disclosure on environment and social impact assessment demonstrate that the government and SEBI is quite keen on climate action, environment, and social stewardship. So they want to create companies which can lead their domain because they are BRSR compliant. Finally, SEBI encouragement to KPI-based reporting became the new norm, where essential and leadership indicators are asked to you, which the moment you answer, you enable effective sustainability performance measurement. That's the advantage, and that's the recommendation of SEBI BRSR. Now let's go and look into nitty-gritty of the same. From BRR to BRSR, what change has happened? So reporting chapters first. Yeah, let's consider that criteria. So SEBI BRSR guideline earlier under BRR used to ask 5 reporting sections. Now that has reduced to only 3. 5, like same like now also you have general information. Earlier they used to ask general information, but they also used to ask financial detail in this report, which now government has given a miss. Other details were asked in past. Now that is a miss here in the BRSR reporting structure. Business responsibility information has been shifted to management and processes under BRSR. And principal-wide performance remains same, where now also you do principal wise. 9 principal are there. On each principal, you have to report to the government. Format earlier there was universal and single format was there. Now they are giving you options. So there is a essential indicator which you have to give answer. You cannot duck. And then there is a leadership indicator which you can avoid. Earlier, the indicators were mostly qualitative. Now, qualitative and quantitative both are allowed. So you can write environmental tons of carbon saving, CO2 equivalent saving, etc. You can now, or energy from renewable or others, you can put that in quantitative terms now. They ask you question that you have to give quantity or employee numbers, contractual numbers, accident numbers with the employee. All these are quantifiable and they ask you in a way that you only give quantifiable numbers along with quantitative data, qualitative data. Earlier, the questions were only limited 59 questions. Now that has increased to 140 questions in BRSR main document. BRSR Core is 90. It still remains same. Out of that, out of 140 questions, 98 are mandatory. Only 2 short of century is mandatory question. So you can see they have doubled the number of triple the question numbers and double the mandatory question numbers. Okay. So there is no way you can escape critical aspect of your business when you are reporting under sustainability. 42 are leadership question. Disclosure frequency earlier was annual. Now also it is annual, but now you have to file MCA 21 form on the portal of MCA. Clear? So these are the critical changes which has happened between BRR to BRSR. With that, let's have quick Slido game. So we check whatever you have learned and whether it is making sense to you or not. And then we will come back to next module. Okay. Tell me once the screen is visible. Is the screen visible? Just give me Y or yes. Anything. So get ready and log in with number 2959043. The number is 2959043. Two 9599043. 2959043. You can scan from your mobile also and log in. Not necessarily you have to. Concept checker. These are not too worried. It's just a concept checker. You can scan. You can go to slido.com and 2959043. Okay, so we have 3 people already. So we'll start. What does BRSR stands for? Very simple question, right? But options are little confusing, so be worried about it. Business responsibility, sustainability reporting, business risk safety reporting, basic responsibility, sustainability reporting, and board regulation. Okay, so everybody got it correct. Business responsibility and sustainability reporting. Which organization mandated BRSR for companies in India? In India, which organization has mandated it? Is it a Reserve Bank of India? Is it Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Security Board of Exchange, Security and Exchange Board of India, etc.? Correct answer. Everybody got it correct. It's SEBI who has promoted it. In which year was BRSR 1? Yeah, which is BRR. Sorry, BRSR. We are talking about BRSR here. So which year BRSR 1 was introduced for companies? Was it 2021? Was it 2019? Was it 2009? Was it 2024? Okay, so it is 2021, not 2019. 2019, they found out there is a problem in existing BRR and it was introduced only in 2021. It came for consultation in 2020, but it was introduced only in 2021 and became effective in 2023. okay, where they made it mandatory for 1,000 company to report. Clear? Then how many questions are included in BRSR reporting framework? Is it 100? Is it 59? Is it 140 or 200? What's the correct number of BRSR questions? Mandatory and leadership both together. Both together. We are talking about both together. Is it 100, 59 or 140? Absolutely, it's 140. Which of the following is not one of 9 governing principles of BRSR? Now, we have not discussed about BRSR governing principle, but just give a guess which one is not one of those 9. Corporate profitability, human rights, environment leadership, or transparency. Absolutely, that's the correct answer, corporate profitability. Okay, so what is the one of the main purposes of BRSR to the business? Main purpose, what is it? To improve internal communication, to enhance transparency and attract ESG focused investor, to track competitor performance, or to reduce tax? What is the correct answer here? The correct answer is to enhance transparency and attract ESG focused investor. Clear? Now, BRSR Core was introduced in 23-24. What it focuses on? It reduced the number of ESG matrices. Of course, it did. Eliminating the sustainability reporting, can it do that? Simplifying financial reporting, can it do that? Or a set of crucial ESG metrics with third-party assurance was brought? Absolutely correct answer. A set of crucial ESG metrics were identified and third-party assurance was inbuilt. BRSR mandates the reporting of which of the following matrices: water usage and emission, corporate profits, employee job satisfaction, or social media presence. Which one looks like more reasonable here? You have to answer that. Following environment metrics, environment. Correct. Water usage and emission is environment metrics. Which of the following is part of BRSR disclosure section? Is it financial record, general disclosure, global data, or competitor analysis? With this, we will stop. So give this answer clearly. Global sales data, competitor analysis, general disclosure, or financial records. Which one is a part of BRSR disclosure? Absolutely, general disclosure. That's the correct answer. With that, let's go back to our presentation once more.
I have a question.
Please, go ahead.
The BSR reporting, it's once a year, or it is aligned with the financial year reporting? How does it work?
Again, your voice is very distant.
I just want to say, ask you, is the BSR reporting once a year or once in a financial year? How is it? 6 months BSR report?
People do report quarterly as well, but that is not for larger audience. Mandatory requirement is yearly. Mandatory requirement is yearly. People do quarterly reporting as well.
It is financial year or it is a calendar year?
Financial year.
Financial year. Okay.
FY. So March 31st, 2020, of that, whichever year you are, that point in time you have to report exactly on that day. Means of course they give you 2-3 months, right? So you have to follow the exact same frequency of your financial statement.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, good. So let's go to module 2, where we will learn the framework now and the principle, the 9 principles which are covered. So how they are covered, what is the requirement there? We will try to learn that. So starting with that, so let's just start with 9 principles first, okay? So there are 9 principles logically arranged. Yeah. If you follow me, you will be able to remember and recall very easily. Everything starts with a company, right? Company has to be there.
Sorry, Vivek, that slide it is showing in a smaller size. Like.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Oh, sorry. Is it better now?
Yes, yeah, it's fine.
So let's start with the principle number one, P1, in short, we say that there are 9 principles in BRSR. So everything starts with a company. If you don't have a company, you don't have any reporting structure, right? So company should have 3 things. First, it should have governance. Second, it should have integrity. And third, it should have a transparency. Okay. And that is why BRSR is called 100% compliant company. You cannot be partially BRSR compliant company. So either you are 100% or you are not. Clear? Robust governance is a major requirement to start any company. If you don't have a governance structure like board of director, you cannot start a company. So everything starts with governance, integrity, and transparency, where the framework, robust governance, and 100% compliance is mandatory. P2, principle 2, is basically process and product stewardship. So here, once you have a company, you have to have a processes inbuilt, right? So board of director is there, they will meet 4 times in a year, etc., etc. Or for your product, you have a process again that you will procure the raw material at the cheap cost, then you will process it, add value, and then you sell into the market after packaging. Clear? So those stewardship, this leadership in your product area along with the processes are key to starting any business which has a good governance. Make sense? So first you have a company and then you have a process and product inside that company. Here, your job is to establish the framework for product and process stewardship. So you become a leader in your own domain, sustainably as well as financially. Then enhancing the mechanism for ensuring supply chain sustainability. So the questions which are there under the principle 2 will be focusing on these areas. Make sense? P3, once you have company and it has a structure, it has a governance, then you have a process and product inside the company which you are producing, for which you exist, then definitely you have to have employee to execute that processes, right? So P3 is employee, and their well-being and engagement is the responsibility of the organization, and that is the principle 3. So principle 3 talks about that you create healthy environment, you measure it and you report it. You develop a workforce, so you invest in their training, development, etc. You create a safe workplace so they can work happily as well as safely. And finally, human capital development throughout value chain is also your responsibility. So you should not limit yourself only to your own self, but also educate your vendors. Clear? Specifically regarding sustainability. Then P4, responsive stakeholder engagement comes into play, where greater investor confidence, enhanced brand reputation, and attractiveness is your focus area. Make sense? So once you have a company which has a governance, integrity, and transparency, that's P1. Once you have that, of course, you need process and product stewardship, leadership in your product. That is P2. P3 is employee well-being and engagement. P4 is that you have a stakeholder, which is board of director, customer, community, which is always willing and you are willing to engage them. Okay. So responsive stakeholder engagement, which increases the investor confidence and enhances the brand reputation, becomes the P4. These are 4. Then another 5 are starting with human right. So once you have governance, integrity, transparency, which is supported by processes and product stewardship, which is handled by employee well-being and their safety, and you have a responsive stakeholder, in that case, you also need human rights in play. So you are not, going beyond human rights and ethics policy and processes which has been established internationally. Here, the focus is UNGC 10 or IFC performance standards. Either of these two are focus used by ESG, BRSR. So those question links you there. So once you have governance, integrity, transparency, then you have processes and product stewardship, which is supported by employee well-being and their engagement. Then comes your responsive stakeholder engagement. Once you have these 4, then the 5th one is human right and 6th one is environmental leadership. So you definitely look into the climate action and your impact on climate and climate impact on you. Yeah. So very soon, even double materiality concept will be introduced by BRSR. That's our expectation. Let's see when that happens. So environmental leadership you show through becoming environmentally compliant company, whatever is set by the government regulatory body, like environmental impact assessment, etc. You are following that. Then you calculate the carbon and reach to carbon and water neutrality. So you do not utilize too much of carbon or emit too much of carbon or utilize too much of water. Finally, you need to establish processes for waste, biodiversity, and management. This is P6. So environmental leadership. Once you have human rights, then you have to have thinking about climate action or environmental leadership. And then comes the public policy advocacy, where you engage with different association and body, where you are contributing that how this should be made better. So the global matters, whichever they are, you also show interest on those matters and provide details for the same. Now, you have human right, you have environment leadership in play, along with public policy, advocacy, which you are doing. You have to have an inclusive, equitable growth for your company, which is enhanced with a local community and enhanced brand reputation and attractiveness. So both sides it impacts you. It impacts you with the engagement with local community along with brand reputation increase. And finally, the ninth part, which BRSR covers, is the customer focus. So whatever you do, your actions should create an improved customer interaction and disclosure, product information on the packaging, etc. So the customer becomes happier. A standard operating procedure policy for cybersecurity, data privacy for customer also should be in place. Okay, so they do not feel threatened if they buy from you. And finally, environmentally sustainable product labeling is a critical aspect of your business operation. Once you have done all this, then BRSR 9 governing principles ask questions like these. Okay, so when you are filling the form, you have to fill like this. What do you mean by that? So top line will be asking you a particular question or particular topic on which you have to detail your activity against it. For example, here I am taking business should provide goods and services in a manner that is safe and sustainable. That's what BRSR asked from you. Then in that case, what you are providing, you have to give that detail. And then how you are providing through different procedure, processes, core elements, you need to detail that. That's how the governing principle, each of them, which has several questions inbuilt, has to be answered in these 3 steps. Now, these 3 steps, before you go to those 3 principle-wise performance disclosure, you have to have general disclosure, same like GRI, you have to do that first. Then you have management process disclosure, that who is doing governance, how the process works, how you are collecting data, that should be reported here. And finally, those 9 principles in top, what and how process by that way. For each principle, each question need to be answered. Again, there will be option there. 98 questions are essential, which you have to answer in any case. But there will be 42 questions where you can just, if you really want to do it and show the case that you are a leader in industry, you also answer those. If not, no problem. That's the structure. Now, you see, general disclosure, there are 26 questions which you need to answer in general disclosure itself. Yeah. What do you mean by that? So there is an objective of this section, which you have to understand first. The basic information of company has to be laid out in the beginning of report itself. That's the first aspect which BRSR expect you to report. What do you mean by that? So you talk about company size, company location, company products, all that you have to list it in the beginning. So people can understand which industry you are working, what are the products which are riskier in nature, etc. you are producing. Then comes the number of employees, CSR activity, etc. also need to be reported under these 26 pointers. Yeah, where the proposed format include additional disclosures on the proximity of company's operation to the environmentally sensitive sites, such as protected area, water restricts area, etc., zones, etc., has to be highlighted then and there in these 26 questions. Clear? Then comes the management and process question, which are 12. In this section, companies required to disclose information on policy and processes related to all those NGRBC principle, 9 principle, that how those 9 principle you have derived. For example, climate action. So how did you derive all that data? So you have to tell them that, look, we looked into the carbon inventory, we looked into the carbon accounting, and then we calculated each product life cycle, how much of carbon is produced, or each process, how much of carbon is produced, etc. And then we got the result. Clear? So that process and management has to be listed here on all that's concerning leadership, governance, and stakeholder engagement. And this has to be done with those stakeholder engagement, which you need to write. That I talk to so many unions people, so many employees, so many management team, so many community guys, so many government officials, etc. The purpose of this section is to understand whether the company has building blocks in place which enables them to ensure responsible business conduct. So responsible business conduct is an important word whenever you talk about management and process. Then comes the principle-based performance itself, right? Those 9 principles has 104 questions inbuilt, which indicates that how a company's performing with respect to each principle and core element of NGRBC. That 9 principle where they have recommended. Company must demonstrate their intent and commitment to the responsible business conduct again, okay, through the action and outcome which you are reporting under those 9 schemes. Clear? This section divided into 2 categories basically. One is essential, which you have to definitely answer, and those that are mandatory in nature. So here you will find those 42 questions which are mandatory. The rest of them are compulsory questions. Those are, leadership or voluntary questions. Try to answer them because you will get additional brownie points by your investors on that ground. Opportunity for company present the impact and outcome. Clear? Now, this is the SDG alignment. If you remember in the free session also, we told you that we will show you each of these BRSR mapped with the SDG goals, those 9 goals, if you remember. If organization does not comply with online requirement, it cannot claim that it has prepared the report or information in accordance to BRSR. Forget about SDG alignment, even they can't claim that they have done with the BRSR. For example, which I am trying to tell you is this, okay, that if you are looking for, just a minute, is my screen visible?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. So look, there are 9 principles. Each principle covers certain part of SDG goal. Is the screen visible now? Because very critical screen. Means I will recommend that you take a screenshot of this. Yeah, because it maps each principle with the SDG goals, which will help you to write the report. Okay. So first principle is business should conduct and govern themselves. This is the exact principle I'm reading for you. Okay. This is what they have written. I have summarized it, that governance, integrity, and transparency, what you talk in principle 1, but they ask you like this: business should conduct and govern themselves with the integrity and in a manner that is ethical, transparent, and accountable. This is what they recommend under principle 1. Which 2 principle of a sustainable development goal of 2015 it fits into? 16, which is peace, and 17, which is the last one where you are integrating the whole thing. Clear? So these 2 principles of sustainable development goals are linked with principle number 1, 16 and 17. 2, if you look into principle number 2, that covers the maximum number of SDG goals. So starting with 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. So below water, below earth, everything is covered there. Climate action, all this, 15 even, all these are, which are Sustainable Development Goal 2015, are covered in principle number 2, where they are recommending business should provide good and services in a manner that is sustainable, because it is for long term, and it is safe. Clear? Principle number 3, which is business should respect and promote well-being of employee, including those and their value chain, where there are 16, there are additionally 7 principles of Sustainable Development Goals aligns, which is number 1, number 3, 4, 5, 8, 11, and 16. Then comes principle number 4, where they have written under BRSR is business should respect interest of and be responsive to all their stakeholders, where you are covering number 1, 5, 11, and 16. Okay, so there are common as well. If you will see, 16 comes in first 4 principle only for 3 times. Yeah. Then comes principle number 5, where they recommend business should respect and promote human right. I just told you human right, right? But here they write business should respect and promote human right, where principle number 5, 8, and again 16 comes into play, because 16 is all about peace and harmony. Then principle number 6, which is business should respect and make efforts to protect and restore environment. Not only protect, but also mitigate. Okay, whatever action you have taken, you need to mitigate and restore environment. Again, it has a large number. Okay, equivalent to what you saw in number 2 principle, where we had 2, 3, where we are having now under 6 is 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Principle number 7, where they say businesses, when engaging in influential public and regulatory policy, should do in a manner that is responsible and transparent. So you record all those interactions and produce in sustainability report. That is what is expected under principle number 7, where again principle number 2, 7, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, and 17 is included of Sustainability Development Goal 2015. Principle number 8 has the largest number of SDG alignment, where business should promote inclusive growth and equitable development. It covers the large number of SDG alignment, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 7 is missing, then 8, 9 is, and 10 is missing, then 11, 12 is missing, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You saw only 4 are missing. Rest of all of them are here out of 17 principles. So 13 principles are covered. Then principle number 9 has 5 principle alignment with SDG goal, where business should engage with and provide value to their customer in a responsible manner, where you are covering SDG goals to 2, 4, 12, 14, and 15. This is the alignment. Now, once alignment is done, you need to know following 10 points, which are key element for any effective disclosure under BRSR. Okay, very critical section now we are going to cover. So first of all, whenever you do effective disclosure or credible reporting, you need to focus to whom you are reporting. Are you reporting only the reporting authority? Are you reporting to your customer? Are you reporting to your stakeholder? Are you reporting to all of them? That has to be clearly identified. And when you prepare the report, you make sure it makes sense to that particular audience. Second, it should have a clear purpose. Third, it should be logically structured. And we will take each of the critical items and I will show you some example. Okay, that's my responsibility for today. Logically structured, authentic claims has to be made. Don't make any haphazard ad hoc claims. Whatever you are making, make sure there are enough paper to prove that claim. Then precise point. Don't give vague results that we could not test the water pH was not known. Don't give all that bullshit. You tell them that we could not test the water. Simple. Okay. Or you tested the water, then what was the pH? You need to give that. Then finally, you have to revise and edit. That's the first 5 elements to create a better report. What all principles you need to come up is completeness and transparency. That's the principle 1 and 2. Principle 3 and 4 is quality and specificity. Principle 5 is institutional consistency, progress momentum, and rigorous benchmarking is critical element for effective disclosure. Let's see few examples for the same. You remember I was telling you that when we will come to BRSR section, I will show you that how Patagonia is doing responsible procurement and they are reporting it very clearly. This is the report gist which I am taking from Patagonia report. Okay, even though they are not doing on BRSR, I'm just showing that how completeness and transparency can be shown. This could have been hampering their business. If people will know where from they are procuring their raw material, they can poach those guys and try to muddle around with the contract, right? In garment industry, it's very normal, okay, where people can play with such kind of issues. They have gone to the extent where they have given the addresses of those companies, and they are not threatened by that somebody will come and acquire their supply chain network. You see, this is the advantage of being complete and transparent. So they are transparent to the extent that they have given the companies on map and with address. Quality and specificity. Anybody who talks about quality and specificity, this is the Indian one, where they have done the ESG reporting, and I'm citing that company, where for quality and specificity, specifically they are showing that 68% of reduction in operational scope 1 and 2 emissions since 2015, this guy was able to achieve. Okay. Be specific to the last digit in your percentage calculation. That kind of quality. And they have gone and detailed that as well. You see, they have given a write-up around it, that how their climate action and goal are aligning together. A specificity, if you want to see on the right-hand side, they have given that they are using a shadow carbon price to inform their investment decision making on such kind of effort. Okay, so they have gone to that specificity that, look, we do not have a direct comparability of how much per ton, euros per ton of carbon they are buying or selling. They have used the shadow carbon price to achieve that number, which they have given 70 euros per ton of CO2 emission they were procuring, which is aligned with their ambition to limit the global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So be quality in your report writing and be specific what exactly you are indicating. Institutional consistency is little dicey because Apple is also known for doing a lot of wrong stuff. Here itself, in privacy reporting, they have fought several cases with several government, but they have not disclosed their customer data. Okay, some people can find it funny. Some people can find it that this company doesn't go down to any government when it comes to the protecting the data privacy or customer right. The last policy of BRSR, right? Customer data protection, etc. This company takes to the heart of such kind of or spirit of the law itself. So this is how, and they have defined it in their sustainability report that they take this business very seriously. Data privacy is their critical item. Then, of course, this is another progress and momentum. Whenever a company wants to show progress and momentum, another example from Patagonia report, they have shown you since 1973 what all action they are taking on behalf of sustainability. So this company is not woke up recently. It's already working since the sustainability word was coined. Clear? So that is why they are respected in the market. With this, let's go back to our Slido once more. Or people want 5-minute break? Do you want 5-minute break, or shall I continue with the last module for today? Module 3.
Continue.
What works? 5-minute break or Slido?
No, we can continue in case.
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, let me go back to the slide. Okay, so you can log into Slido. Let me give you the number once again. You can log into Slido. Slido.com 2959043. That's the code. 2959043. 2959043. Everybody is logged in? Give me a Y so I know everybody is logged in so we can start the discussion. There is some problem in Slido? No, you just see down. Whenever you log in, it will show you error. And then below that one session is active. Click that session and you will be able to log in. Ramesh ji.
No, that was last time actually.
No. Achha, last
Now I can.
now you are able to log in, okay?
No, yes, I'm in this page, whichever you are showing now.
Clear. So shall we start?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with the next question. So what is the significance key performance indicator in BRSR? What is the significance of key KPI? Reduce company expenses, measure and benchmark sustainability performance, improve sales growth, or calculate employee bonuses? Which is the correct one? I love calculating the employee bonuses, if that is the benefit. Okay, so the correct answer is measure and benchmark sustainability performance. Let's go to next question. Okay, that is only one question left. Okay, good. So let's go straight to our presentation. I thought there were more questions. Monish, what happened? You reduced question this time? Okay, so let's go to this.
Shadow carboning कर रहा है क्या?
Shadow carbon pricing, huh? That's what is happening. Right. Okay, so let's go to now BRSR 2 to 3. Okay, so 3 is of course future, which is coming up now. 2 is already happening, which is under BRSR Core. So BRSR Core framework for companies and their associated value chain was launched on 14th June 2023. That was the circular when it was launched. July 12, 2023, basically SEBI released the BRSR Core frameworks. So there was a notification and then they have released on concurrently the assurance and disclosure requirement, where they made it mandatory for third-party assurance as well. So what was covered there? BRSR Core is a significant shift from their BRSR itself. Why? Because SEBI has introduced now BRSR Core as a subset to the main document, okay, of the comprehensive BRSR framework. The BRSR Core focuses on set of crucial ESG metrics, aiming to enhance the reliability and comparability of the ESG disclosure across company, okay, where the stronger assurance became the norm. What do you mean by stronger assurance? Because BRSR Core framework now mandates that the third party should do the assurance, which strengthen the stakeholder confidence, be it customer, be it investor, and adds to accuracy and transparency, because somebody checking your data, right? Even though they are doing sampling, they are checking your numbers, their data, etc. And if there is a mismatch, immediately they will report to you. This step ensures that company sustainability claims are backed by robust and verifiable information. And then only an informed decision making can happen. That's why this is a significant shift. Because streamlining the critical ESG disclosure, BRSR Core enables investors, especially the retail ones, to make more informed decision based on reliable and comparable data, which is right now a little bit compromised. This supports that overall goal of fostering sustainable business practices are in play. Now, if you see the advantage of BRSR Core are four. The first is it strengthens the stakeholder confidence because somebody is verifying your data, so credibility increases. Second, it improved the transparency and accuracy. So BRSR Core focuses on key ESG matrices, which ensures that company provides a transparent, accurate information and addressing the concern around greenwashing and lack of standardization. This is quite a difference. Yeah, the greenwashing is a new threat which is coming and shadowing the sustainability effort. So that also is being addressed in BRSR Core. Then this enables decision making because enhanced quality and comparability on ESG data empowers the investors and other stakeholders to make a more informed decision, aligning with their sustainability goals as well, right? Everybody has its own carbon footprint goals, sustainability goals. So they want to align that with yours. And that happens because there is a more clarity. Finally, it reduces the compliance cost because if there are 140 questions to answer, that is difficult, or 90 questions to answer is difficult. Decision is yours. So by concentrating only on critical ESG disclosure, BRSR Core definitely helps on companies or to the companies to optimize their compliance effort and minimize the associated costs. Now, what is the change? under comprehensive BRSR framework to the core. See, the assured ESG rating parameters has been brought in play. And there are 4 ESG rating providers which has been approved in India now. So one is, of course, CRISIL. CRISIL has a different name again. ICRA is another. They have another company, subsidiary company, which is doing this rating. Then ESGrisk.ai, who's coming now. I'm a committee member of that company. Okay, so I'm reviewing all the rating which are given to them, and I'm independently vetting it whether it is right or wrong. So that's the advantage you guys are getting now. So then that has been done by the government. So there are 4 companies which are authorized by the government who can do the rating. Okay, for auditing, all chartered accountant company can take up the auditing job. Yeah, that is they are allowed. New core ESG rating also has been allowed. So only on those 90 items, people can rate as well. So ERPs, which is ESG risk providers, are now required to develop a new rating criteria for core rating, core ESG rating, which they have done now, and it has been in play. This enhances the homogeneity of ESG rating criteria and enhances the transparency and enabling the investor and other stakeholder to make informed decision, at the same time save cost for the company who is undertaking this exercise, because limited number of reporting cycles. Value chain disclosure became the key issue in BRSR Core or BRSR 2, okay, which is required for holistic view. So BRSR Core disclosure now account for company value chain as well. And that is why we are telling right now it looks like 1,000 company reporting in India, but actually more than 10,000 company has already started reporting and getting even rating because they are part of the value chain of the large company. Okay. And this number will soon reach to 1 lakh companies, and you will see that happening in within a year time. Okay, year or two. And then there will be huge demand supply gap for supporting such activity as a consultant, as a resource, as a chief sustainability officer of that company, etc. So there will be huge demand for these kind of jobs. Responsible practices is focused under value chain. So the inclusion of value chain disclosure extends to the scope of responsible business practices, that you are handling your vendors properly, they are reporting to you properly, and the data is neat, clean. And along with company-owned operation, it addresses the potential ESG risk arising from outsource activity. Most of the time, people do the outsourcing of digital media, marketing, etc. That also can be monitored and maintained at a quality which is happening in the company, because my rating gets influenced by the outsourced company's rating too. And thereby the improved accuracy is a norm, because once you vet the value chain disclosure, automatically you get the complete picture and company sustainability effort, empowering the stakeholder to make better informed decisions. Now that brings to us to what looks like future for adopting such kind of sustainability reporting practices. So see, BRSR Core is going to act as a catalyst, and that's why people are claiming that now more than 10,000 companies already started reporting, and very soon it will reach to a number of 1 lakh or 100,000 companies doing the BRSR or sustainability reporting, which marks a significant milestone in our stewardship, environmental stewardship, social stewardship, socially responsibly, making socially responsible company and bringing the sustainability agenda forward. This will definitely empower the sustainable growth. So no longer there will be a lot of corruption happening and nobody is noticing, because once you start reporting on BRSR, automatically certain notes of that corruption gets exposed. Might not be today, but in a shown period of time, it will get evident. Same like what has happened in the financial reporting. Okay, when it was made mandatory, people start looking into the business practices. And that's why private limited companies still is exposed to certain kind of corruption, which listed companies are remotely concerned about. Sustainable transformation, embracing the future of sustainability reporting, company can now unlock new opportunities, new investments, and enhance their competitive edge because of being into a resilient economy. Now, if you want to decode KPIs of BRSR Core, okay, so these are the major KPIs which I have done in 2 slides. So 4 you will see here and another 4 in next slide, which creates the KPI for reporting purposes. So first attribute which BRSR Core covers is fairness in engaging customer and suppliers. You remember the principle number 9? Yeah. Principle number 9 became the key issue in in BRSR core as a KPI. So here, number of days of account payable is now reported. It's a part of reporting that you have to tell that how much time you are keeping customer money with you. Sorry, customer money, I'm saying supplier money with you. How much time you are not paying them. So is it 1 month, 2 months, 9 months, 10 months? You have to now report. Openness of business is a second attribute which is now in focus, which means that concentration of purchases and sales with trading houses, dealers, and related party became in focus. Along with loan and advances even, you have to write about how much of loan from your customer you have taken, how much loan you have taken from your members, etc. Along with all the related party disclosures are now new attribute. This is another KPI which you have to report. Third KPI is enhancing the employee well-being and safety. If you remember, P3, principle 3 was employee well-being, right? Governance, product, and then employee well-being, correct? So the third one was employee well-being and safety. Here, spending measures towards well-being of employee and worker also gets reported for both permanent as well as non-permanent employees. Enabler gender diversity in business. So gross wages paid to female as a percentage to total wages paid has to be reported. That gives that clarity. And then the complaint filed under sexual harassment of women. Yesterday, Colonel was talking about, right? POSH, or sorry, I believe it was talked about Rameshji, about POSH arrangements. So those all instances now need to be recorded and produced as a KPI under BRSR code. See, they are now targeting straight, hard hitting points. Then comes the water footprinting. So earlier only environment or carbon footprinting was focused. Now they have brought in water intensity per rupee of turnover need to be reported. And that to be adjusted with purchasing power priority. This is a new change in core. Core now talks about PPP all across, going for from water to greenhouse, because earlier we were reporting in our terms, our inflation, etc. And nobody can compare in US sitting with that number. So now we are allowed to consider a PPP number as well. So you need not to report only in your own currency, but you can write even in dollars. Yeah. And because it's a neutral number, it's a percentage, you can always report that. Embracing circularity is a new norm where waste intensity per rupee of turnover adjusted to PPP and waste intensity in terms of physical output both are reported. Finally, enabling inclusive development where percentage of input material, which is input of total material value. So say you have purchased for 2,000 crore material from, as a raw material. You purchase for 2,000 crores and you are selling at 4,000 crores after processing it. So that 2,000 crore from supplier directly within India, you have to divide. So you said 1,000 crore I have taken from India, 1,000 crore I am taking from, Russia because we are procuring oil from there. You need to show that very clearly that where from you are purchasing it and what kind of transparency you are maintaining there. Clear? So these are the BRSR core critical topics which we need to know. With that, we have come to end for the day. Okay. But what I will quickly do is I will show you some examples of templates, which I promised yesterday to, Captain Vijay, Colonel Vijay, that I will show it to him. And of course, we have already posted today for BRSR. GRI also will post it today itself. So let's see that how you report. Okay. What are the formats which are available? So let me go to straight away to the taxonomy, which I have already shown you and explain to you how this works in real life scenarios. Once the screen is visible, just so XBRL, which is another XLS format in which it is recommended to report. Okay. And this is how it will look like. Whenever you will do, it will look like this. Very, not very clear kind of scenario. But once you will look near, it will look exactly what we are discussing. So first you have to talk about general disclosure. You remember general disclosure? An abstract of general disclosure need to be highlighted in your document, that I am putting abstract of general disclosure here. So name is given and then label is given. Then comes the detail of the listed entity. So that 22 question, if you remember, 26 question.
Yes, 26.
Yeah, 26 question, which is a part of general disclosure comes here. Step by step, and you have to report all of this. Okay, detail of business accounting, 90% of the turnover has to be reported, etc. Detail of main activity, description of main activity need to be provided. Then percentage of total turnover of the business activity need to be reported. All these need to be filled according to different codes, standards, locations of the member, access, etc. need to be provided. So this is how the overall 140 question will look like. Yeah, it's much beyond that because there are certain other aspects which they are also covering. Clear? Then comes the elements. So you have to go in detail of that and say that whether it is applicable to you and not applicable to you. So is this happening quarterly report? Is it an annual report? You need to find. Are we doing a standalone or consolidated? You need to select. And again, in XBRL format, you need to submit that. Period type, it is annual, it is quarterly, whatever, true, false, you need to select here. So those are the elements which became part of your reporting. Of course, there are software. By seeing this, don't get bogged down. Means your normal HR software can also help you to capture this data and report it. Yeah, every company has it nowadays because all compliances are happening through the software. Okay, so that same software you can utilize to convert all your data into XBRL format and submit it or upload it on the BSc or NSC website. Then comes all these 9 principles. You see this 9 principles, you have to report it in this format. Clear? Then you have to, of course, define, there are definitions to each of them, which you need to go and read as a label, right? Each of the label is defined here. This is just for the convenience purpose they have provided, that all companies should not get confused. All pointers are defined for them. Okay, so there is a name or nomenclature, prefix, and then there is a label for the same. That's how it looks like. Then for a calculation, they have a separate sheet where you have to put all your energy consumption. So total energy consumption in kilojoules, then electricity consumption coming from different sources, total fuel consumption, all these number in total, then plastic waste, total waste, all that. You remember 305, 306, we were doing separate. Here everything is combined because it's a 9 principle direct reporting. So all principles are covered in one go itself. Water stress area, if you are, then you have to separately report those. Yeah, that's how it works. Make sense? And then they have defined even labels, what means what, ISN, MSCI symbols, script code, etc. You need to, those are the logistic which also need to provide. So this is how the reporting template looks like. Clear? Now,
Vivek, one question, like what is that order? No, order and weight. No, what is that order?
so order means, of course, you can start from calculating inventory first. Basically, everything starts with general information. So first you have to fill the general information. Then ideally people do the inventory first. For example, there are critical items like energy. Okay, that is critical, right? You have to report the carbon accounting. Employees, you have to report that. So you can collect all the inventory together and then go step by step. That's the ideal way to fill. But there is no specific recommendation by NSE that you first fill this and then you first fill that. Okay, make it very clear. There is no recommendation by anybody. It depends on which activity you are taking when, right? For example, electricity bill comes on the month end, but employee salary might be taking on 5th of the January or 5th of that month, right? Or 28th of that previous month. That's how the salary get distributed. So based on when you get your data availability, you fill it out. However, the sequence is always arranged in a way that general disclosure comes first, management approaches come second, and then all principle you report on. Based on the data availability, again, you can report that.
Sorry, like Vivek, can you just go back to the same slide where it is giving order and the priority? Because the same number of order, I'm not topping the, and the I think previous, yeah, here on the right side, no, the other one, the other page order. If you see
You are
one,
seeing
two,
this
three.
order, right? This order, right?
Yes,
Talking about this
yes,
order.
yes.
You can do that, miss. But look, this is just to given for your guideline, but it doesn't prescribe you to follow exactly in that fashion. It depends
Okay,
on the data availability with you, right?
okay,
For
sure.
example, just watch here. Number one is this, right? In this particular link, 1008 detail of complaint and grievances. Number one is what? You have to talk about detail about a stakeholder group for whom complaint was received. Say there is a whistleblower policy, under whistleblower policy, somebody is complaining. But same time, again, there are four other priority one topics, right? So all of them, can you report together? You can't, right? So one by one you have to do. However, priority is given to this, and then you should report that complaint received from the investor. So you are getting my point, yeah? You cannot do concurrently all the activities. You have to divide into, and this is a prescribed mode. You can follow it, but there is no 100% guideline on this, that which one should report when and for what purpose. And if it is there, I am not aware about it. Yeah. So maybe that might be the reason I'm not. Yeah.
Vivek, you mentioned about PPP. Can you explain it once again?
Come again. Sorry, your
The
voice.
PPP.
PPP is
Yes.
our priority. We are talking
What?
about. So you earlier we used to take a number which was, for example, I have an operation in India, I have an operation in Japan, and I have an operation in US. All three places, energy consumption might not be at the same price. Means here I am paying 1 rupee or 10 rupees per unit, right? In US, it might be $10 per unit. The problem was, if I take 10, convert into Indian currency, 82 multiplied by 10, I had 20, and I take India 80, 10. So the average will be nowhere, right? I'm not giving the clear picture to the audience. So they have allowed me now to use PPP whenever I am reporting. Okay. So purchase power parity means what is the inflation rate in India? What is the inflation rate in US? What kind of interest rate is in India? What kind of interest rate in US? You take the differential, you calculate the purchase price. And there is a PPP norms, right? They provide it. So it is available now. For GDP calculation, we do the same way, right? GDP calculations. Similarly, you can apply. And that's why they have converted as well. They have not kept into only absolute number. They are asking you intensity nowadays. So intensity can be reported based on your total revenue.
Okay, based on total. Now, second issue that you showed one slide regarding that ERP, that what is that?
Enterprise resource planning.
Yes, enterprise resource
Sorry,
planning, and one more thing.
ESG reporting principle you are talking about, correct?
Yes. That, can you show the slide again? That I just
Yeah.
want.
Correct me, Vivek, like ERP is in this case ESG reporting providers, right?
This one, the previous one. इसके बाद वाला है. Miss हो गया. Yeah, this one, yeah.
Okay, what was your question here?
What are this ESG rating providers and ERP difference?
No, ESG, E of
Okay.
ESG they are taking. Rating provider. Am I audible?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so ERP is a full form of ESG rating providers. That's it.
That's it. And so who does this?
So 4 people have been authorized in India now. They are approved by SEBI. One is CRISIL. They have a different company name through which they are running it, but it's a CRISIL who's running. Second is ICRA, who has been authorized and they are running it. And third is ESGrisk.ai, where I'm a committee member.
Okay, great. And,
So
what is the numerical value, like 1, 2, 3, 4? How do they do it, or alphabetically?
No, it's up to 10, 0 to 10. That's how people rate. And then there is alphabet rating as well, which comes out of it. But each item they will rate to 8 to 10. If you saw a study materiality rating, similar of that rating comes. And once they convert those numbers into A, triple A, double B, all that comes in play. Yeah,
that
there
comes
are
in.
junks as well, based on
Okay.
how much of percentage you are complied with. So 80%, 40%, 30%. CRISIL does in percentage as well and provided one data of 2022. I will share with you 2022 rating of that company. It's a public data, so I won't mind sharing with anyone.
Okay. Okay. That is how they do it. Huh? And
Yeah.
so this is now one more last question is that is the Indian companies mandated to report both BRSR and GRI, or it is one of them?
No, advantage is both of them are interlinked. So 80% of BRSR is linking to GRI and even SDG. You saw all the SDGs.
Yes, correct, correct.
So
I mean,
people, what they
which
are
is the
doing
one
is nowadays. So what they
government
are
of
doing
India?
now. So what
Huh?
company is doing, very simple. They prepare report according to BRSR because it's mandatory requirement by government. And then they create a ready reckoner where they will map it. I will show you that tomorrow when we will do BRSR in practice. I will show you examples that how people are just putting those GRI standard, which one is covered where.
Okay, they just okay, something like
ready reckoner, the content index.
Content
they are
index.
sending that content index to GRI and get complied from there. If you are export-oriented unit, need to do that.
Acha. Both are compulsory. Both have to do it.
Absolutely. Or you have to follow TCFD or CSRD based on whichever. But definitely you need an international one as well because this is local, right?
Okay.
You need
yes.
an international compliance as well.
So most of the listed companies do both of them. That means
three. Means Infosys. Tomorrow I will show you Infosys. There are companies which are doing. Only I have seen Reliance is a different game changer. He doesn't report on anyone. He will just report on BRSR.
Why? Why is it so?
I don't know. That's means Reliance is Reliance, right? So they can bulldoze anything to anyone. And their reporting also is not a quality reporting. Means I didn't find it. Means if given a chance, I will definitely speak with them.
Because they are the ones who are into petroleum and everything. So
they are in the most hazardous industry.
Yes, correct.
Certain paragraphs you will get puzzled. Means definitely either done by somebody whom we do not understand. We are not capable to understand that language, or they are doing it for not people to understand it. These are the only two ways. And given that those companies which are interlinked to the Indian DNA has to report more transparent.
Correct. Yes.
Their sustainability is most important to me. Yeah.
Yes.
But because it's a family business, they are too big a guy now, too big of company to fail, too big to fail. So maybe because of that. Because I will show you tomorrow when we will go to BRSR report. It's one good example. 261 companies yesterday we saw the list. Tomorrow I will take you the whole report. So it will be easier for people to relate. Okay. So I will show you the whole report. You will see all those names they have mentioned. And then they will put right-hand side, merge the whole column and say not reported.
Oh my God. Not sure.
Why? Why? Means if you are not able to report where you have 100% stakes, 100% stake. Forget about 50, 60, 70. 100% ownership they have, and they are not reporting. Why? Are you not clean in this business? Are you doing a lot of hanky-panky? And they are known for, not treating employee really well.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Yes, because that is there, always there in Reliance.
Yeah, Reliance, there is some problem. Only few people get a lot of money and then rest of them are deprived of money.
Yes.
They work because they are dedicated and they are loyal. They are really, they love the family environment, but that doesn't mean that you keep them, shunted from certain benefit which they should get.
Okay. No,
again, my opinion is a personal opinion. Because we are on record, I cannot go against it.
That is the reason. One more thing is that there is no law, parliamentary law, which says that you have to comply with BRSR. There's no law.
No, there is a law. SEBI as your authority has imposed this law. Okay. There is no decree, means there is no parliament passing the regulation. But the moment SEBI passes it, it becomes a mandatory requirement for you.
It's like a requirement. It is not a statutory law.
No, because you are registered with them, you are trading in the stock market, you have to follow the decree of an independent body which has been created by the government, which has a full power to create a law and impose on you and even penalize you. So they are penalizing. Just I will give you another example, CSRD. Okay.
Yes.
Under CSRD, there is a law called ecocide law. ecocide law. So if you are been caught, you have been caught in too much of production of bad stuff in the environment, and means of course there is a definition to that bad stuff. If you have been caught, you will be sent as a director of that company 10-year imprisonment. 10-year.
Okay.
Same like independent directors. There is any law that independent directors should go in jail?
No.
People are going.
Going, yes, yes.
You know that story, right? And then there is a law comes in play where the Supreme Court will make judgment. And then the recently Supreme Court made a judgment that independent directors do not go in jail.
Yes, do not go in jail because they are not involved in the
Yes, they are not
procedure.
4 day only they come.
Yes, 4 day only come.
Right?
Yes, how are they responsible for managing the day-to-day affair? So they are not responsible. They're just making a decision.
Previous court ruling was interesting. They said,
Yes.
irrespective of, they have taken a position of responsibility. So it is their responsibility to report and find it out what kind of mistake these guys are doing.
That can be contested in the court because
that is why Supreme Court has overturned that.
Overturned it. Yes, that's what I was reading.
Overturned.
Overturned it because
we are living in interesting time. You never know what will come tomorrow again.
Because that is what, because when I study all those independent directors, this thing, that when I go deep into things, you'll find a lot of loopholes. You can really take it out. You can say that you are not privy to the background of the decision making.
Correct. You can't do that even, right?
You cannot do that in one day.
One day you are there sitting with them.
That's
they
all.
review the document 5 days. Document,
yes, 7 days.
Understand anything. You can't make it out what is going every day, right?
Yes.
But of sexual harassment they are doing on the normal days, we don't know.
Yes.
Those are reported to certain committee, and that certain committee has a responsibility in certain days to report to board. That might have happened yesterday. We don't know.
Yesterday, yes, correct. Yeah.
I'm just giving examples. So POS, environment, EIA, all these are hidden topics in sustainability, and which becomes a governance issue in the reporting of BRSR and GRI, and then independent directors come into play. Right? And that is why sustainability report is the best report for independent director, because non-financial matters are discussed here.
Yes, correct. Yes.
So this becomes a good rescue, and that's why I recommend independent director definitely should know about ESG, because that committee is important for them. If you come in ESG committee, immediately you have a lot of information which will never come to you as independent director, because you have nothing to do with that issue, right? The governance issue. Governance issue, of course, you have to do, but environmental, you are not that concerned till the time it becomes a compliance issue.
Yes, correct.
Which is the responsibility of internal auditor.
Auditor, yes, correct.
So this timeline can be crashed for independent director if they have learned these kind of lessons.
That is what I was thinking of, those lines only. When I was doing this course, I was thinking that my background.
Yes. And you people like you need to be there on those boards.
Yes.
Bring the discipline. Yeah.
I asked, Mr. Manoj Sonewala is there. You remember?
Yes.
I gave me a call. I gave him a call. I want to speak to him. He said he gave me a call. I asked him one simple question. Sir, we are in the army. Do we really have any chance of getting into the board? Colonel Saab, I don't have any relationship with you, frankly speaking. But I'm telling you, we are looking for people like you only.
Yes.
We are not looking for people CS.
CS has a different charm. They are different stuff. And I can hire them. This is for small companies. This becomes a bigger issue. Oh, if I will go and hire a chartered accountant, he will ask me 1 crore. Better have independent director pay him 10 lakh rupees.
10 lakh rupees.
See, that's the calculation company does. Which is again a disaster. Because that in chartered accountant is wasting all other independent director prospect here. They don't understand.
Yes.
It's a big debate right now. People are not talking in public platform, but it's a big debate that CS and CA is muddling this water of independent director. Thereby, people just 6 months ago, people were talking about undersupply of independent director. Just a month back, go and search for independent director oversupply. Economic Time has written an article. I have not disclosed it to everyone, but there is an article that there is an oversupply of independent director now, right now, as we talk. Because the old people have not retired. The old people who are there, they have not retired. which was supposed to happen on this big joint day or something was happening. Yeah, reset date never happened. Secondly, because it's my choice to whom I can keep on my board. I am giving them extension of another 5 years, and I have a whole right to do that, and nobody is there to contest for it. The
Correct.
responsibility of IICA is here. They are just selling courses with all due respect. Means I have also learned from them, but they are not taking a stance on this topic.
Yes.
They are very lallu pallu. Means I have seen them in 2-3 events or in Nifty, National Stock Exchange. They have conducted an event. Okay, I was party to it. And they were just, and there were very big personality came. The first independent director of India has come, who is on the board of Tata, etc. But the talk which was going was lallu pallu, that we will talk, we will discuss. BSc guy is sitting there, SEBI person was sitting there. You could have straight away asked that, give me a power to influence the boards right now, not by research and study and suggesting study, do research. This is what SEBI guy and BSc guy was talking about. The lady was there from BSc as NSC, and she was head or vice something. And the other guy was from SEBI. Both of them were recommending, you do a study, bring it to us, and we will consider. We are for sale. Yes, sir. You are doing. Yes, sir. This, I don't know when this culture will go from India. Yes, sir. Arey, Baba, ask question. You are sitting there in that platform. Ask questions. Yeah.
Correct.
By the way, both of them mentor my board. Both Divya and Neha was also there in that event. They asked at the end, but till the time all the phenomena was gone. They asked.
That's what. Mr. Manoj यही बोला कहता we are looking for people like you. I was surprised. मैंने कहा क्या बोल रहा है?
No, there is a requirement of disciplined people. There is a requirement of diverse background, which currently still it is not happening. Okay.
Yes, it's not
Very
happening.
sad scenario.
Yes,
Very
yes,
sad
that's
scenario.
what we have to pitch ourselves a very strong point.
No, good. Hopefully, we will see you guys very soon on the boards. And it happens. And when it happens, it happens. Because I know one person called Satish SK. He was completely mad about getting independent directorship. And he got it.
Mr.
Somebody
Satish,
used to look
MK
like that.
Satish, MK Satish.
Yeah, SK Satish or NK Satish.
Yes. He just got it. He just got it.
Finally, he cracked the code. It took 1 year, but he cracked the code.
Oh.
And that is why I'm saying, if you really want to become, you have to be behind it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can bring the discipline to the society, which is more important right now. Independent director is huge role and responsibility, but nobody takes seriously. And the reason is they are just a cog in a wheel. That's what they treat themselves, and that's what they get treated as well. Yeah. So that has to change. They have to bring discipline to the boards, and it is for the benefit of the company. Yeah. And BRSR, all these regulations are empowering them. Let's take the benefit of the same.
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure speaking with you all. Any other question?
One